I never know why we record. I always feel recording is in the past, and we need to be more present. But any which way, you have to do what the team says, or they put me in the corner for half an hour then in office tomorrow. So hi everyone, good evening and welcome. My name is Hitesh Bhatia, and welcome to Joining Hands, and welcome to a very fun and evening conversation where we'll be talking about a lot of things to do with healing. Interestingly, we're going to talk about things to do with healing in the professional realm. If you asked me this question years back or even months back, that is healing possible in the professional realm? I would have been like, no, I'm not even sure. I mean, isn't healing for about healing my physical pain, healing my emotional pain, healing my anger, healing all of these problems that I have, only to realize that healing is possible everywhere. In fact, healing is needed so much in our professional space that we don't even talk about it. The more we should be talking more about that. But before we begin and enter into this fun conversation, a couple of quick checks. My name is Hitesh Bhatia. I'm a past life regression therapist. I studied at the Tasso School in Netherlands, and I am I am the CEO and founder of Joining Hands and Healing Circles. What really is Joining Hands? We're a community for people interested in healing themselves, interested in making their lives better. We work with alternate healing. In case you haven't seen our website, please do take a look. It's joininghands.in. We have an interesting lineup of workshops that I will talk about towards the end of this program. You can head over to our workshops tab in our website and you'll see all of them lined up over here. And we've got them all the way till April. Today we have Martijn with us. I have a shadow work program. I'll talk more about it towards the end. We have something called a Love You Zindagi program, which happens every Friday evening. Every Friday morning. This Friday, we're doing something very interesting. We're going to be healing our first sexual experience and understand how our sexual experience impacts us and every single experience after that. We have Rosina talking about, this is interesting again, can a yin woman be professionally successful? Rosina's area of interest has been yin and yang, and she's talking about, can a woman who's very feminine be professionally successful? So interesting things lined up for the coming days. Do take a look at our website. If you're interested in shadow work, I'll talk more about it at the end of this webinar. We have another program starting real soon. We also run a sister business called Healing Circles. This is our school where we teach systemic constellations and other programs. Head over to it, healingcircles.live. We've got programs in family constellations, karmic constellations, business constellations, and a lot more happening on healingcircles.live. If you like recorded content, we have something really interesting on our Joining Hands channel. We've got a lot of talks, a lot of processes, a lot of videos, podcasts to keep you entertained for a really long time. The last time I spoke to my team, they said, Hitesh, if someone sits down and spends 8 hours a day on our YouTube channel, they probably have enough content to last them 2 months. So that's a lot of content and more coming up soon on our channel. If you are on the gram, then you have to follow us. My team is doing a fabulous job creating some amazing Instagram content. Yeah, that's me, that handsome guy over there. Apparently my videos don't get as many likes as the video of all the other women out there. But do head over to our Instagram channel and take a look. Fabulous. I think I covered what I needed to cover to tell you. So hi and good evening and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about professional success. And I can see a lot of new faces over here. I see a lot more men in the room. So we're going to talk about professional success. What is professional success? What can block professional success? And if Martijn's in a good mood, he's going to take us through a short process to talk and demonstrate to us, where things are stuck for us professionally. So hi, Martijn, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
So Martijn and I met a few months back. We met last year in Netherlands. We had a fabulous Indian dinner, which I was surprised he loved because his tolerance for spice was not what I thought it would be. But he and I loved, and we both pigged out to the extent we couldn't eat anymore. We met at a lovely Indian restaurant called Diwali. Right, that's what it was called. It was called Diva. No, I forget the name.
I don't know.
Yeah. And we met there and we had, it was as if two friends who had known each other for a really, really long time had connected. And in fact, it was true because Martin and I had been talking for the last 2 years about him coming to India and getting him to joining hands to talk about professional constellations, to talk about business, and to talk about how businesses get impacted with energy. I mean, I love the way Martijn says it, that at the end of the day, businesses are also energy. Yeah.
It's true.
Martijn has been a trainer in the past. He's been a coach. He's been working with intuition in business, which is very unheard of in the Indian business circles. It's all about data, but he works with intuition in business, and he trains and teaches across the globe to make entrepreneurs more intuitive and more aligned with themselves. Am I right, Martin? Did I miss anything?
No, that's true.
Yeah. So welcome and good to see you here once again.
Thank you for having me again. I like it.
Thank you. So let's jump right in. What really is professional success, Martin, and how do you define that? You've worked with so many people, you know, across the world.
Yeah, it's a good question because, well, the first thing I think of success is money and a big house and traveling um, but that's just a part of success. So I've written the book, The Effortless Entrepreneur, and there I describe the four lenses of success. And one is a material lens. It's like looking at success from a materialistic point of view. So how much money do you have? How much land do you own? How many houses do you have? And it's not to have as many as possible, but it's giving you an idea of, am I successful in a materialistic way? And especially if we work more in the soft sector, in the healing sector, we think, oh, money is not important, money is not important. But that's not true, because in this world, we still need money in a way. And if you don't make enough money with your business or with your profession, then you have to do all the good healing work, well, in the evening hours or in the weekends, and the world needs you more than that. So I think materialistic success is an important pillar of success, but it's just one. The other one is emotional success. It is also, I also combine the relationship. It's how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about the people that you are around? Do you have good connections? Are you satisfied with it? Are you fed emotionally? And well, some people that are very successful money-wise, well, they have very difficult relationships, have very negative emotions. So this is also part of success. So do you have positive emotions, positive vibes in your body? Do you have good relationships that nourish you and that you can nourish? Then the third one is mental success. So are you positive looking at the world? Are you creative? Are you looking for opportunities, or are you stuck in a fixed mindset? And are you, well, like a little bit negative thinking all the time? And then finally, which for me is also a very important one, is spiritual success. And I translated that into fulfillment. Are you fulfilled with what you do? Do you have an idea that you contribute something, that you are, that you are giving something to the world, which also fulfills you, and that it's like really about your mission, that you are fulfilling your mission in life, that you are aligned with a larger force, aligned with a larger movement, and doing your actions from there? Or are you disconnected, and are you feeling alone, and are you feeling like, well, I don't know what I do, but it makes money? So for me, it's all these four, and it's good when you look at your business, and maybe you can do it right now. So for yourself, maybe you can even close your eyes. We just do it right away. Close your eyes, and then it's always good to, well, breathe out, sense your legs on the floor, and slow down a bit so that we don't go into the mind, but we go into our subconscious intuition. And when you breathe out, you let go of all the energy that I brought into your mind. Maybe something that was there when you just arrived. You let it go. And then you visualize like a thermometer. And you ask the thermometer, give me the success, materialistic success in my professional life. And just watch the thermometer. How high does it go? And keep on breathing. Maybe it's going lower than you thought. Maybe it's going higher than you thought. Maybe it's just as you thought it would be. How high is your materialistic thermometer? Then you move that aside and you put another thermometer next to it. And there you ask the thermometer, give me the number or the heat of my emotional success. So the thermometer shows you your emotional success. And just watch the thermometer. And if it's difficult to get images, you might know the number. And then just, okay, the number is this. And then you can ask on what scale. Because if it's a 6 on the scale from 1 to 6, it's very high. But if it's a scale from 1 to 200, it's very low. So, and if you get an image, see how high the thermometer is. And then you put that one aside too, and you have the third one. So you ask the third thermometer to show you your mental success. You don't have to understand it, just notice how high does the thermometer go. And finally, you have the last thermometer and you ask to give spiritual success, fulfillment success. And breathe it in and breathe it out. And see all the thermometers, all the 4 thermometers in a row. And notice in yourself, how is this? Does it give you new information? Is it shocking? Is it, well, maybe relieving? And this is just information. And then you thank the thermometers and you can open up your eyes again. And for this whole webinar, whenever you feel like asking a question, put it in the chat, and then when I have time, I'll look at it, or maybe Hitesh or somebody else will point it out to me.
I like how simple that was, because when you a lot of times we don't really feel successful, or we feel we are successful, but we really don't measure it.
No, or we measure it by numbers, and numbers can only measure things that can be measured by numbers. And now you translate this, what I call the undercurrent, you translate it into an image, a number in a way.
Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. So, what are the challenges that you already you see when you work with so many clients who are entrepreneurs? And I'm presuming you work with 2 kinds of audiences, right? One who are already therapists or healers who come to you saying, I want success in my profession. And the other side is people who are, I remember you talking about the association of plumbers that you were working with.
Yeah, entrepreneurs in general, yeah.
So entrepreneurs in general, let's say doctors, or let's say, someone just working in their career.
Yeah, I also work with those, yeah. Yeah, it's a variety, but for me, it all comes down to alignment. Being aligned with who you are, being aligned with your energy or your way of working, because we don't all work the same way. But the society is made or created in a way that only fits like a few types of people. So it's good to realize, am I a morning person, evening person? So that's a very simple way, but also do I want to contribute something to the world, or am I more like a hermit going inside? And both is good. We don't all have to save the world and bring peace to the world. That's not what we all need to do. So it's really about being aligned with yourself and your higher self, and what I call cleaning up the undercurrent. You need to clean up all the mess that is there often because of the family system, but also because of the business systems that you're in, or the school system that you're in, or whatever system you're in. There's always this undercurrent. And the interesting thing is, in businesses or in professional life, patterns attract patterns. So if you have an issue with being seen or not being seen by your parents, that issue goes, that resonates within you, and you are attracted in a way to professional places where you're not being seen, or where the theme is that clients are not being seen, or so there's something about being seen in that business, and therefore it just repeats itself. And well, if you're not aware of that, you go, oh, I want to be seen, they're not seeing, and the manager's not seeing me, my clients don't see me, my whatever doesn't see me. Until you stop and realize, wow, what I'm doing, I'm repeating this process which I have with my parents. So there I always point to the back, because that's where I imagine my parents and grandparents. So it's good to realize that these patterns repeat themselves and mirror themselves in the world. And I think that's an important thing that I come across a lot, is that people think that it's by accident, or think that the world around them is doing something wrong. But in the end, it's about us still attracting these kind of situations. And I always find it difficult to say that, because it's like, oh, you blame yourself because you are not spiritual enough, or what. That's not what it is. It's just, when you are aware of it, and you clean up in the undercurrent, you attract different things. You are attracting is also, oh, I like this job, I like this person. I have had the same thing. I had this lady, and I worked together with her. We started the company, and I felt, oh, it's good to do these things with you. And just the other day, I had a coach session about that, and the coach said, well, what you're doing, you're actually projecting a shadow part of you. Well, Hitesh will talk about that in another webinar. A shadow part of you, you're projecting that on her, and then you're blaming her for things, and you are annoyed by her, but in a way you're annoyed by this part of you that you're suppressing. And for me it was like, wow, okay, so now I put it here because it was here in the constellation on the right. So by integrating that, I can now look at her with new eyes, and I don't have to blame her for anything. It's just my part. And at the same time, I can feel I don't need her anymore to show me that part. So we don't, well, for me, the business can stop, because, well, this was an important thing why we got together. It was not about the business. It was about this part, at least for me. So it is this cleaning up that needs to be done in order to be successful. And these are many of the blockages is because of this undercurrent mess up.
Interesting. So what should we do, Martijn? Should we go on talking? And I think it's a good idea to ask everyone present over here. We've got 70 people in the room other than you and me. What would you like? Would you like Martijn would you like to hear Martijn and me talk more about constellations and professional success, or would you like to have a short process to understand where you stand? Is that right, Martijn? We could do a short process.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah.
To understand where you stand and what's stopping your professional success.
Process.
I love. I mean, I knew the answer. I don't know why I even asked it. I had
Talking.
I had to just say, what would you like, and it just went process everywhere in the chat.
Yeah, and it's a good thing, because we can talk a lot about constellations, about systemic approach in business. We can talk a lot about healing. In the end, it's all about the doing, experiencing. And that's also the way I teach constellation work. I can talk a lot about how to facilitate constellations, how to work with constellations. But in the end, it's about the doing. It's about, experiencing it.
So a couple of quick things can actually, sometimes the solutions can be so simple.
Yes.
Fabulous.
And of course, if we would do this in a constellation that is guided by a facilitator, I could ask questions, I could add something more, we could do some movements. But for now, this is something that you can do with a large group, with 80 people. which I always like also to do. So that's also what in my trainings I give different options of using constellations, like with small groups, with big groups, one-on-one. So yeah.
Quick show of hands. Would any of you like the recording to repeat the process at your own convenience? Just raise your hand and we'll know that you'd like a copy of the recording. Okay, I've already asked my team. So I'm going to launch a quick poll. Just put in your number in the poll. It just makes it easier for us. We have a few questions if you like the process. Martijn is doing a few workshops in India. We have one of them happening soon. I think it's in May. I mean, not soon, but it's a long time away. We have it in May. And then we have Martijn coming to India to teach business constellations. If you're interested in learning, the program also starts, I think it's somewhere in July. Am I right? Yes.
July 9th, I think.
Yes. And then, of course, it starts online. And then he comes to Bombay for a couple of days in person. Just
Yeah.
put your number in the poll. That way we can send out the recording to you. Yeah, and that makes our life a lot more easier. Joining hands is a community of, please don't put your number in the chat. We'll not be able to send it to you in the chat. Joining hands is a community of 27,000 people. The more our life is easier, the more my team is happier. So if you put it on the poll and the data goes to the team and they'll send it out to you. Yeah. And I'm just, yeah, and good. Does anybody want to share anything? Martin, can we take a few questions? I wanted to share about your workshop, which I will in a bit, but I thought in case anybody has something they'd like to talk about.
Sure. Yeah.
Neha, are you raising your hand to talk, Shakri? Then we need a
Yes, I am.
yes.
Hi. Good evening. Thank you for this really, really wonderful process. I've experienced Constellation once before, but this was really interesting doing it by myself or for something. So this was really interesting for me. So I did feel things, especially when I was standing on the paper which said, "What is blocking me?" And then I felt this entire wall as if it was, pressing down on my back, on my body, and as if something came crashing down on my neck. So things like this that have happened, how do we deal with this? What do we do to find out what is it and resolve it?
Yeah. Yeah. We want solutions, right?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, is experiencing it. It's like acknowledging that this is what's blocking you, apparently.
Yeah.
Um, well, one question you can ask these things is it mine or is it not mine? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
blockages are not yours.
Okay.
So and when it's not yours, you can say you're not mine and I leave you behind. But it would require a larger process. But it's a very interesting concept that something inside of us is not ours. Some
Yeah.
blockages, some inner voices, they're not ours. They're our ancestors or maybe from the society. So that's good to realize.
Okay.
And other than that, for now, yeah, there are different paths of cleaning and healing, but that really requires in-person work or of working with you specifically. So
Okay.
okay,
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
thank you.
I think you really need to, maybe do a session. You could reach out to Martijn. Martijn also does sessions online if you want to explore that further.
Mm-hmm.
What we're also doing is we've created an online workshop because we realized that, when I did that, the first thing I felt was, oh, there's something really blocking me. And we realized that this needs to be solved. And now that you're aware of it, you really want to resolve it even more.
Yeah.
It's an online workshop that Martijn is doing. I know it's a little too far away. It's in May, but Martijn's a busy guy. And we've struggled to get dates from him. So I put the link on the on the chat right now, and we're also giving a coupon today. In case you sign up today, we're giving a coupon where it's cheaper by almost 50%. So you can sign up if you want to resolve things. It's already on the chat. The coupon code is, where's the coupon code? Yeah, it's JH Love 2000. It's only valid for today. So if you'd like to sign up, you can sign up with that. I know we have a long time away, but we're trying to do what we can do for the community. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Neha. Shiraz, you're up next.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martijn. Thank you, Hitesh.
Thank you.
My question is, I felt a very strong pull to my right. My body kept swaying to my right. So I really don't know. And it happened on all the 4 papers.
Okay, and what's your question?
So does it have any meaning for the body to sway on the right? I mean, we say the left is the female side, the right is the
Masculine, yeah.
masculine side. So I was just wondering.
Yeah, one thing when your body is going to the right is that it actually wants to move to the right. So it could be that you need to move to the right and then it becomes more quiet. So that's one thing that happens. Sometimes the right is getting heavier or something is pressing on the right, and it could be something from the father's lineage that is pressing. It could be something of your masculine side that is pressing you. The right is also the more outgoing, outward and going energy, also more masculine. So it could also be something which is about going outward and voicing things to the outside world. So yeah, and how I work with constellations is that this doesn't tell me like, okay, now we need to do X, Y, Z, but I follow the information in the field. So then you need to continue the constellation, see what's happening. Then I need to move. Then you step on another piece of paper, maybe that's going to move. So the solution is not like, okay, I get information, now I understand and I know how to tweak this. The solution, or not even always a solution, but I call it the solution path or the healing path, the movement that's needed, that arises from the constellation. Is that clear
Okay,
now?
I shall do the process again and see what comes up again.
Yeah, see what
Thank
comes
you
up.
so much. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? And I think I'd like to ask a question, and this is specific, and I'm sure you get this a lot. How do we know whether it's a family lineage issue or whether it's something to do with the industry? And for me, I find it interesting because I do 2 businesses. I have a staffing business, which is very different, and then I have the business within the community and the alternate healing business. In the alternate healing business, there's a lot of dynamics externally, right? A lot of people aren't aware as yet. So how do I get to know what that is?
Yes, that's interesting because this blockage or also the resources can come from different places.
Yeah.
So when I work with people, I also ask, do you notice this in your whole life or just in this function? And when you say, okay, it's happening to me my whole life, it's something from the family for sure.
Interesting.
When it's only happening in this function, it could also be something in this organization, in the start of the organization or the history of the organization or the current systemic movements in the organization. And then it could be something from the larger system, and yeah, the alternative healing system or the financial system, or well, there's so many systems in the world. So that's also the difficult things with professional constellations in relation to family constellations. Family constellations is quite clear where it comes from. And with professional constellations, we need to be aware of, okay, it could be coming from the family system, but it could also be coming from, well, another system, the company or the industry, or maybe the family of the owners could also be. One way of finding that out is asking these questions. So does it happen more often in your life, or has it also happened more often in the business? For sometimes there's dysfunction, and every time somebody joins, he gets ill or gets sick or is not functioning well, and when you remove him, place somebody else, the same thing happens. Well, then there's something for sure with dysfunction. And again, patterns attract patterns. So it could be both, something in your family system and something in the business. What you could also do is put a piece of paper or a representative for the issue, and then a representative for the family system, the business system, and maybe the industry system, and see where it resonates. So you can do a constellation to check where it resonates.
Interesting. Very interesting. I guess more work to do.
Always.
A lot of you have messaged me asking what's the coupon for. One, Martijn is doing a workshop online. Let me just pull out the link. I just had it open here. Martijn is doing an online workshop. I know it's a little early. We normally don't announce workshops this early, but we said we're here. Martijn is here, so let's make the most of it. It's an online workshop in May. So yes, we have a lot of time for it. It's attracting, the workshop is around attracting professional success. This is the workshop. It's attracting professional success. It's an online workshop where Martijn will take the participants through a journey and through a process of how they can attract professional success. The workshop is priced at 5,000 rupees. What we've done is we've given a discount coupon that's valid for today. And the discount coupon is in the chat. It's called JH Love 2000. In case you can't attend the workshop or you can't be there during the entire time, or for some reason you're based in another time zone, the workshop is recorded and given. Am I right? That's what we always do, Martijn, right?
Yes, sure.
The workshop is recorded and given, and you can do it at your own sweet pace, or repeat the process multiple times. Martijn also comes to India later in the year to teach to teach business constellations. It's a hybrid program. The program is partly online and partly in person. I'll share the link with those who are interested. It's called the Business Constellation Certification Program. The website has all the details, all the dates are online. It starts online, then it's in person, then again online, and then in person. Why is it like that? We like doing a thorough. We're suckers for doing deep work, and I think that's what connects and brings Martijn and us together. Where we like doing work where we know people whose certificates we sign have been trained well. We could do a 5-day online program and say, listen, it's done, and now you're on your own, but we don't operate like that. Nor do we operate like that, nor does Martijn operate like that, and that's what we love about him. It's a thorough program where you learn the art. And of course, once you learn the art, as joining hands, we also help you set up your practice. If you'd like more details and you've responded in the poll, we'll reach out to you with more details about that. Yeah, I hope that answers the question. Karen, no, it's not important to know family constellations. We've designed the program like that even if you don't know family constellations, you can learn business constellation and do that independently. Yeah. We'll take Sankab's question and then.
Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon. Just a question on the workshop that we'll be having in May. So we did a small workshop where a small process where we underwent and looked at certain patterns. So during the 3-hour workshop, are we expected to go through end to end in terms of finding the blocks and then trying to look at tools in order to, have some solutions? So just wanted to get a brief of what can we expect from the workshop, the online workshop we'll be having in May.
Yeah, the workshop is a workshop with a group. So it's not that I go work with each one of you individually. So, but what we're going to do, I'm going to explain more about professional success. We're going to do more processes, also some healing processes with visualization, but also other processes with a constellation. And I'll do also a demo, maybe 1 or 2 with 1 or 2 people from the group. And the thing, what I experience if we work with constellations is that the whole field, as we call it, is resonating. And so when you join the workshop, you're resonating with everybody else and also with all the healing that is done. So for some, that is that I do the constellation and you get insights and you get a healing movement. But then somebody who is representative also gets a healing movement. And everybody who's watching also gets this healing movement. So no, I don't say that you're getting like from A to Z the whole path of healing during this workshop, but yes, there will be a lot of healing resonance and energy in for the professional success though. But it works a little bit different than when I work one-on-one with you. That's more specific for one person.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Sankalp. Good. So I think that's good, Martijn. You've given us more than an hour. I mean, almost an hour. And I had said half 30 to 40 minutes, but thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you once again. And thank you for removing time. And I'm excited to see you in Mumbai real soon.
Yes,
I'll be seeing you in the Netherlands before that.
that's true. Yeah, we're going to be here. Yeah, good. In May. Thank you.
I'm so excited to share with everyone here that we've done, I never thought in my wildest dreams when I started building this community that we'll be doing workshops all across the world. We've done a Joining Hands meet in Dubai, and now we have a Joining Hands meetup happening in Paris and one in Amsterdam.
Wow.
Sorry, in Amersfoort, so Netherlands, and 16th of May, we're doing our meetup in Netherlands, where my journey with alternate healing started. And after that, we're doing another meetup in Paris with a lot of people from family constellators, regression therapists, and seekers. Everyone from Netherlands is over there. So Netherlands and Paris. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited. So good. So great seeing all of you. Aishwarya and Binaifar from my team have said that they invited a few people today evening to talk about shadow work. So a lot of you said you'd like to know more about shadow work. I love shadow. It's one of my all-time favorite topics. Do I have the book here? I do. This is where I do my shadow workshops from, so definitely I have the book over here. Let me just pull out the cover that, where is it? Yeah, here it is. So this is the book. In 2019, I was introduced to this book by a friend of mine called Tulin Eteme Shimberg from Turkey. And the book is called The Dark Side of Light Chasers. And she told me, Hitesh, this book is about shadow work. And I said, okay. And I found the book and I said, let me read the book. It took me 2.5 years to read the book because it's tough. I couldn't get beyond chapter 1. Chapter 1 starts about asking, when you start the workshop, the first question you ask yourself is, what is the lie that I have been telling myself all my life? And the next question is, what is that one lie that I have told everyone, or I'm telling people about myself? And I just couldn't get beyond that. Because I realized the biggest lie I've told people is I love you. There's no bigger lie than that. And I've told people who are close to me, I love you, without really meaning it. And it just stayed with me. It was really difficult to get through this book. But what really is shadow work? The concept of shadow was introduced by Carl Jung, where Carl Jung said that there are broken parts of us. There are parts of us that we reject. As we reject them and we don't own them, we project them onto others. And the way the universe works is the second we are projecting them, we attract more and more of them in our space. Shadow work is about owning these dark aspects of us, the dark shadows. But the workshop that I have created basis of this book is not only about owning the dark parts, but it's also owning the white shadows. Mm-hmm. If I reject my dark shadows, I also reject my white shadows. I've done 7, 8 workshops in the last 4, 5 years. With each of them, we start with almost 200 people. The workshop is that difficult that we only close with maybe 25 to 30. A lot of them drop out because the work is very difficult. It's very thorough. It's one of the most deepest workshops that I have done in my life. And I've looked at past lives. I've looked at alien lives. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff. I've done ayahuasca so many times already by now. So I've looked at so many aspects. And I realized that this literally shook everything of my existence. It's one of the only workshops I've come that is not working on the past, but works really on the present. It works on the ego. Yeah, so it's really powerful, and yeah, the workshop is on. It starts on the 19th of March. If anybody who's been part of the shadow workshop would like to share what it means for them, or if anybody has questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Urmila, I know, has been part of it. Shantala is part of it now. Shantala doesn't like talking, so I'm not going to pull her out. But if I know Neha, I've seen here, has been part of it. I don't know if anybody else has really been part of the shadow workshop, but if anybody would want to say, sure, okay, Shantala's raised her hand. Sure, please.
So, thanks to the workshop that I'm comfortable speaking today. And for me, I just make it minimum. That is that my question to Hitesh in the workshop was, am I in the right workshop? Because he was talking only about the dark shadows, and I said, since 3 years, I'm in search of someone that people talk about, that you can do it, and I don't see it in myself. So I don't see it as a dark shadow. So am I in the right place? To being able to find the fifth, sixth week, yes, to find that someone that I said, okay, dark, and able to connect with that part of me that was the one that I hadn't known for. So a lot of things is healed and is healing. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Shantala, for sharing. Brinda, what are white shadows? Dark shadows technically are negative traits. So we don't accept that I could be ugly, I could be bitchy, I could be nasty, I could be, a simple thing like how can I be slutty? White shadows are more positive ones. How could I be successful? And surprisingly, the white shadows are more difficult to accept. White shadows are things like success, confidence, beautiful. So many people struggle to say that I could be beautiful or handsome or good looking. I could be confident, I could be successful. And that's where we work with the white shadows. When you reject the dark shadows, you also reject the absolute opposite of it, which is the white shadow. I hope that answers the question, Vrinda. Yeah, Urmila, I would love to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Hitesh. Sorry, I couldn't get the icon that showed the signs. Okay, but really, I'm so very thankful to you for the shadow work, and I have gained immensely in the sense that I had a very difficult relationship with someone for the past 20 years, and I had prayed the night before that I really want to resolve this before I leave. Before I transition, यहाँ का business यहीं खत्म करके जाना है. So and then the next morning I saw your message and it was free, and I said, why not? And I got hooked to it. I mended the relationship. It was a very peace-giving experience for me, and really I got hooked onto it. It's the most honest work that a person can do. It is really not for faint-hearted.
That's also
You
true.
really you rip yourself naked and see yourself in that light, that where am I in this whole process? So it's my absolute personal favorite, because ultimately it teaches you lessons, which is why we come here. So I've started teaching that in my book reading sessions. I read the book. Many people have dropped out because it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's one of the most toughest things I've done by
Yes.
far.
Yeah.
And I've done past life regression to go back to perpetrator lives where I've killed people and I've murdered people and all of that. And then you do shadow work and you can't look at yourself in the mirror because the body shows symptoms. It's not for the faint-hearted, like Urmila said.
Yeah.
If you are really, really ready to transform your life, and this is for you. But
It's just yeah.
sorry,
It's
please go on.
it's the intention that if we take the intention that I need to change, then this becomes easy.
Yeah. It is, of course, it does get easier with that. What I commit is I handhold everyone through that workshop. I handhold everyone, so you're not alone. People have symptoms, people have, someone messaged me saying, Hitesh, I have sneezed 200 times in the workshop. I said, it's okay. Someone had a lot of flatulence, someone was throwing up. That's how the body releases all the stored emotion. So it's, yes, it's a very powerful workshop, but you need to know that you're in the right hands. Yeah, thank you, Urmila. Thank you, Shantala, for sharing that. Yeah, Neha, you have a question? I'd love to answer that. If anybody's any questions on shadow work, more than happy to answer. If anybody has any questions on joining hands, what we do, what our workshop's about. Martijn has left because he had to go somewhere.
No, I don't have a question. Just wanted to share something which I think I did also when we had the Delhi meet.
Yes.
So my father-in-law found my book, this book lying on, my table. He said, "What are you reading?" I said, "Aap pad lo." So I gave it to him, and I had only read 5 pages. I'd read the book for 2.5 weeks. I'd only read 5 pages and not gone beyond. So he took it thinking it's a fiction. And he read the entire book. Then he came back and said, "What was this? This is not fiction." I said, "No, it's not fiction, but this is what it is." So I explained shadows and everything to him. He said, "Yes, I've read it. But, this woman says you have to close all chapters. That is very difficult. If you close all chapters, then, you're dead, then nothing more." I said, "But that's what the concept is." So, we did have a little bit of a chat. Then he read the book a second time after this discussion. And I told him, "You've read it twice, and I haven't managed beyond 5 pages in this last 3.5 weeks." And he said, "मेरे को तो कोई feeling नहीं हुई, कुछ नहीं हुई." But I know that he had loosies for 4 days, and he was very angry for a whole week. But he said, "No, no, nothing happened." But after that, I think I found him in a very strangely peaceful state for many days. His reactions change, his responses change, and he's 89 years old, active and all of that. But for a few after that, I did see a change in his general behavior towards a lot of things, which possibly he did not realize, but we all noticed. So I think it was the book in some way.
Yeah, so the book says, and I'm going to read quote to quote from Debbie. Read this book carefully, read it once, and read it once again. Then read it a third time for good measure, and do the exercises it suggests. I dare you. And then she says, I double dare you. I dare everyone in this workshop do the workshop the second time. I've done it 7 times. Literally has changed relationships, career, money, finance, successes, you name it. And I'm always discovering new shadows, but I double dare anyone to do the workshop. Come and, to the extent we've said you pay for the workshop once and you become part of the group for life. So anybody who's paid for the workshop once can do it again for free. Because if you do it for free, if you do it second time, it's just an indicator of the blatant courage you have. That's what it's about. Sankar, to answer your question, yes, it's a lot of work. We meet 9 Wednesdays, but there's a lot of work you do at your own end. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't. I'm being honest, you shouldn't do the workshop because it's literally life transforming, the workshop. So you do it every Wednesday, we meet for an hour. It's for 9 Wednesdays at 9 p.m. every night. We have a Sunday group going on, and which is already almost at the 7th week right now. The Wednesday group starts this Wednesday. We meet every Wednesday at 9. We give out the exercise, and you do the exercises on your own. We spend an hour, 45 minutes to an hour at 9 p.m. Very rarely does it go beyond an hour unless someone has a lot of questions. But those who are done can drop off, and you typically do it for 45 minutes to an hour, where I introduce the concept for the week, I give out the homework for the week, and I talk about it. And we also answer queries from people who had difficulties understanding something in the last week. And then you spend ideally 30 to 45 minutes a day working on this. Minimum. I mean, the deeper it is, you could spend more also. And all the processes are recorded and given to you, so you can do it whenever you want, but it's not a recorded workshop. The reason the processes are recorded, so you can do it whenever you want at your own pace. Yeah. Kishori, that answers your question also. We meet for an hour every Wednesday, 45 minutes to an hour. Good. Does anybody else have any questions that I can take on joining hands, on healing circles? Anything I missed in the chat to answer? No, I think I got everything on the chat. Yep. Oh, I think I've covered everything. We've got the name of the book. We've got Martijn's workshops. Thank you for those who signed up. Great seeing all of you. Thank you, Urmila, Suruchi, Brinda, Vimla, Tanu, Pooja, Pallavi,
Thank
Bena,
you, Hitesh.
Lakshmi,
Thank
Yogesh.
you.
Yogesh, good to see you after a long time. Good to see you too, Neha. Hey, Tanu, what time is it where you are?
I'm in India.
Oh, you're in, I always thought you were not in India.
No, I am in India.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Gurgaon.
Pardon my ignorance, Tanu. Sorry. You should come for our Delhi meetup then.
Yeah, I will.
We're planning one in May, I think.
Okay.
We're planning a Delhi meetup in May. We've got Mumbai happening in May. Then I think we're doing Delhi and Bangalore in June. Again,
Okay.
it'll be fun. Come for it. It'll be good to see you. Yeah.
Will do.
Yeah. Shraddha, the exercises are, it's a varied list of exercises. One of the exercises that we do in the program is make a list of the advice you give to people.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of the, I mean, it's like I said, they're just very, very different. So the way the workshop is, the first 2 to 3 weeks is just to understand what shadows are. The
Okay.
concept is really simple, but very difficult to grasp. Because you think
Okay.
about someone who you don't like. So we talk about a concept called projecting. What you reject in yourself, you project onto others. So when I look at people on the road who are bad drivers, and I say, oh my God, how inconsiderate of others. And I look at that and I'm like, I could never be inconsiderate. I mean, I'm a therapist, I work and I have a community where this, and how can I be inconsiderate? And then everyone tells me, Hitesh, you do your process at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have this Love You Zindagi club, which starts at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I don't care. If you want to come, you come. Till it hit me that I am being inconsiderate. And you come face to face with these shadows. So the first 3 weeks is just a lot of exercises given for you to collect a bucket list of shadows that you have. For example, one of them
Okay.
is, if you happen to find a newspaper writing an article about you, what would you not want them to write? That's a tough
So
one.
is it something like you are looking at your own, maybe I don't know, it's a right word, blockages, or maybe some traumas or something that is within you? Because you ideally, crib about something or judge somebody when you have gone through something, and then ultimately you don't understand that you have gone through something, but you want to judge somebody else, and you try to crib about the person most of the time. So is that the right concept or no?
Yes and no, both. It's about
Mhm.
understanding what are the charges you see in your life.
Hmm.
So there is information and there are charges.
Okay.
Yeah. When you look at the road, I mean, if you follow Instagram right now, that the entire Vadodara accident is everywhere, right? The boy who ran over
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
Does it bother you?
No.
That is information.
Hmm.
Did you know that there were two girls who got raped recently somewhere in the south?
Yeah, that bothers me, of
You
course.
see,
Such.
now there's a charge and there's information. So what
Okay.
do? You have information and you have charge. So it's not trauma based.
Okay.
It's personal development based, because trauma therapy is going back to the traumatic moment.
So your thought process is maybe.
No, it's like I said, it takes 3 weeks just to understand the concept of shadow, because it's really deep work. It's our protective layer that we create outside us. It's our, and it's our ego, it's our being. I am not a rapist. I will never rape people. Right? That's my identity, right?
Yes.
But then you break it down and you understand what's the shadow behind rape. And it's very different from everything you're thinking.
See, is it something, I'm just trying to relate it. Is it
Let me give you an
psychology, mental
example. Let me give you an
psychology or
example. Since we're
something?
talking about it, what kind of a person would rape someone else?
Mentally unstable, or maybe mentally unstable, I guess.
And what kind of people who are, what is the quality, or what kind of people are mentally unstable? What would you call people who are mentally unstable?
Maybe they just don't know what they are, why these actions are there, or what do they feel, or they cannot control their emotions.
Fabulous. And people who are not in control of themselves or their actions are what kind of people?
Then obviously mentally unstable again. Or maybe they don't have clarity, I would say.
And
People who do not have clarity over things, or maybe do not know right or wrong, maybe.
People who don't know what kind, give me a quality or a trait. People, hum jaise bolte hain, right? People, they don't have clarity over their actions. They don't have clarity. What kind of quality do they have?
Quality.
Or what kind of trait? How would you define someone? You would say, "Arey, ye aadmi waisa hi hai, so he's so like that."
No, I don't think of it immediately as such. Spontaneously, nothing is coming into my mind.
Maybe a word in Hindi, in Marathi.
No, that's what I'm trying to even think, but no, nothing I can think of.
Do you know people like that?
Unstable, you're saying? Mentally unstable?
Sure.
Yeah, I see. I have met people who are mentally unstable. Like, I always see them cribbing about things. So, or whatever they go ahead with, they will first give you a negative sentence, then a positive sentence.
Right.
They will judge a person.
And
whatever happens, however good situation you go in a party, also they will crib about it, or they will have a negative statement towards their house or the car or the party or the food. So ideally, you don't have to get bothered with these things, because these are very small and petty things. You have been for a party, you enjoy. The aim is to enjoy and come back. But if you sit and crib, how are you going to enjoy? Any which ways you spoil your enjoyment.
And what kind of people are negative people?
People who can't think right. Always into negative. People who can't think right. As simple as that.
And can you say I am negative?
Yes, at times.
And how does that make you feel?
Not good, of course.
So that's a shadow.
Hmm.
And you saw how when you started talking about them, you got a little aggressive.
Yeah.
You could
Because,
sense it. Now you've calmed down.
Yeah.
Charge. That's a charge. Do you see a lot of people like this in your life who are negative? Yes.
Yes.
So you see, that's your projection. Why are you attracting negative people in your space?
So is that a work on myself, basically shadow work? So I'm working on myself.
When you own that negativity, what we do in shadow work is first we find what are our shadows. Then there's a process of owning the shadows.
Okay.
We integrate them. When we integrate them, see, you know about the concept of oneness, right? We all come from the same source. If we all talk about, as healers, we all talk about, yes, we are healers. We believe in the concept of oneness. We come from one source. But I cannot be that rapist. He's come from another source. Or I cannot be this guy. He's come from another source.
Of course.
No, but then the whole concept of oneness is we've all from the same source.
Yes, true.
So
sounds interesting.
Yeah. And then from negative, we move to the positive shadows, the white shadows. We embrace, and it's not as easy as it sounds.
Of course not. I'm sure.
You and I can laugh about it right now, but believe me, I know people who go through it, they cry. Literally every Wednesday, we have a crying festival, 1 hour of non-stop crying, because everything that you have spoken about right now is in your face. The negativity, the mentally unstable. And I've seen so many charged words. When you do the exercise, you'll find control. You love being in control. You don't like being out of control. And you will always attract people who are not in control.
I think
So
many things I think after when I'm talking to him, many things I am realizing that are within me itself. So this was a very smallest example that you gave me, that, when talking about negative people, you're getting aggressive. Yeah, but then I shouldn't get negative.
when it becomes like when you didn't have any information, you didn't have any charge when I spoke about the Vadodara incident.
Yes,
You were not aggressive.
yes.
No charge. When you work on your shadows, things become information and they don't remain charges.
Hmm.
And it's not only, like I said, the dark ones are the easiest to work on. The white
Okay,
ones are the most difficult to work on. Accepting I
okay,
can be beautiful, I can be pretty, I can be confident, I can be successful.
okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I think I think this is already interesting to me, but definitely few questions I'll take it offline, letting you know, because there is some work that I am doing, and I want to know that if that will add more value in that as well or no. That is just for my understanding. But
Sure.
this I sounding definitely interesting. So I think I'll just pay it.
Yeah, I'll share the link in
And
the
you just said that the only worry that I had was a time commitment, honestly. 9 weeks, you're saying. So almost 2 months.
it takes
And if in between you're not able to join, then
the recording is given. So what we do is every session is recorded and
okay,
shared with the group, and it's available for the 9 weeks.
okay.
And
And then questions can be asked anytime.
yeah, you can join. The processes are always recorded.
Hmm.
So the way it works is we meet every Wednesday, and when we meet every Wednesday,
Mhm.
what we do is we talk. I
Okay.
introduce the theme for the week. I introduce the homework for the week.
Okay.
People have questions like we're talking. Some will say, no, I can, how can my mother-in-law be my shadow? She's a bitch, I'm not a bitch. You know?
I think I like I think, yeah, because see what I'll tell you what I am doing I do women retreats. So there where I have some of these healers का छोटा छोटा trauma identifying, कहाँ से trauma आ रहा है, past life से आ रहा है, womb healing से आ रहा है, whatever. So I think this might help me to help people or contribute to their lives as well, somewhere or either.
Is nothing to do with trauma, mind you.
No. It's not nothing to do with the trauma, but definitely understanding yourself
Oh,
and
yeah,
working
yeah.
on yourself starts. I think, see, if the world has to change, it has to start from you, right?
100%, 100%.
So then this is the most important thing that I think I would first introduce them. Then I would take them to something else.
It'll be lots of fun.
Okay, cool. Sounds good to me. And Wednesday, where do we have the sessions?
Zoom.
Okay, Zoom. Okay. I thought it's physical.
Zoom. I would love to do physical. And in fact, we were planning a retreat last in November to Nepal to do a shamanic retreat. I mean, sorry, shamanic, no, a shadow retreat, but it didn't happen. So I said, okay, when it has to happen, it'll happen.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure it will.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I put the
Thanks
link
so
for
much.
those on the
Yeah.
chat. No, we don't have a discount coupon. I love this work. I love it so much that I've priced it at an absolute rock bottom price. And I those who attended will tell you that I give with all my heart. I give with all my heart. If someone has going through an issue, I'm there for them. It's all we say 9 weeks. It always becomes more because there is so many questions and so many issues that people have, and they say, listen, Hitesh, this week let's just sit and solve my problems, please. And everyone is saying that please solve my problems.
Itish, one question I have, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
That all these courses that we do with you, the workshops, because I think I did ask somebody and she was not able to answer. That was the GST part. As a company, can I claim the GST?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll send you an invoice. You can download an invoice from our system itself. It's automated now. So once you pay online, you get a GST invoice with all the details. It doesn't
Oh,
have
is it?
your PAN number and your GST number. If you want specific with your GST number mentioned on it, you can just ask us and we'll send you an invoice.
Okay, I'll ask the CA if she feels that then. Otherwise, I will not.
Yeah.
But
Normally-
anything that I have done with you, I can always ask for the GST, right?
Absolutely,
Okay.
100%.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Another thing we do in shadows is never give suggestions. So all of you who went onto the chat to say trigger, biological, angry, we never give suggestions. We let the person come up with their own interpretation. That's when it is the most powerful. Because if you see, you all have had different responses to the same situation. Yeah. Kishori, you had a question. I saw you raised your hand. Is that answer addressed?
No, so I actually, with all the thing that you've been telling that it's very difficult and people don't complete it and all, I was very apprehensive. So I wanted to know what is at the other end of the tunnel. Like what does that light look like?
The light looks like you creating a vision board and you getting no charges, but it's surrender. See, I learned through gratitude, through manifestation. When I was on the other side, that surrender is a very nice word, but it's very difficult to do. In gratitude and manifestation, we believe to put the intent to the universe and you forget about it. Because manifestation is that it's already done. That's what manifestation is.
Yeah.
Manifestation is not manifest. People tell me, Hitesh, I'm manifesting. So you can never manifest. You can't be manifesting. It's an action word. It's a present word. What's at the other end of the tunnel is a mind-blowing different you. Your life will change and relationships will change, finance will change. How you see the world will change. You're equipped.
Okay.
And the workshop is designed such a way, Kishori, where you're equipped with the tools. The recordings are with you for life. And like I said, once you pay, you can come and repeat the program whenever you want with us, whenever we do the batch.
Got it.
You are equipped with tools to go back and I might say, oh my God, the reason I'm reacting like this is it's my shadow. What I see in the person 6 months, 1 year down the line is my shadow.
Got it. Yeah.
So you move to a stage where you respond and don't react.
To everything.
Well, at certain scenarios, you do react. And I'll be honest,
Okay.
because that, you can't heal for life. Right now also, I live in Bombay, very close to the Taj Mahal and Gateway of India. Every day, we have tens of thousands of tourists at Taj. And they just block the road. And every day, I'll come from the coastal road, all the roads still there, and take 20 minutes to come from there to my house. So
Okay.
every day, I do get angry and I'll honk and I'll say, "Akkal nahi hai, kyun aate hai Bombay mein?" But after 5 minutes, I ask myself, why am I reacting like that? And I know I'm working on that. 95% things in my life I have changed.
Okay.
So every time, yes, but now I know that there are so many shadows when I see those people. It's not just one. It's a multitude of shadows. Yes.
So it's a consistent, like you learn a skill and you keep using it again and
The
again.
more you use it, the better you get at it.
Okay.
Just 2 days back, I discovered I saw a shadow saying inconsiderate. What kind of people will park their cars like this when they know there's a no parking sign? And I said, how inconsiderate of others. And then I started working. I found a shadow called inhumane. I said, I can't be inhumane. At least in the work that I am doing, I can't be inhumane. When I'm helping others heal, I'm helping others get better in their life. How can I be inhumane? So I started working on it.
Okay.
But it doesn't bother me. I don't react. I'm responding at my peace with it.
Got it.
Thank you so much, Kishori.
Thank you.
Hey, Lakshmi, you have a question? So I love shadow work. I can answer questions about shadow work all night.
Good evening, sir.
Please call me Hitesh.
Okay, Hitesh. So, I just saw that there is a workshop on 19th, 9 to 10 p.m. That is on shadow, is it? By
Yes,
you?
yes, that's tomorrow. It's a program.
That's a 1 hour. Pardon?
It's 9 Wednesdays.
Acha, okay, 9 Wednesdays.
Yes.
Okay,
Every
fine.
Wednesday, that's how it says. Yes, I see.
Okay, it's
Every
starting on
Wednesday,
19th.
yeah, shadow workshop every Wednesday, 9 p.m.
Okay, sir. Okay.
It's 9 Wednesday, 9 p.m.
Yeah, I may want to, I will just assess it and do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good.
Yes.
Pooja, you want to know about Constellations and about the Delhi program? Currently, we don't do Constellations in Delhi. It's only taught in Bombay. We are planning and we are hoping that by the end of this year, we can launch a program in Delhi. Have you shared your number with us on the perfect? Then I'll have Binaifa call you. We are planning a program. We're hoping we can launch it in September in Delhi. You know, it's being worked on as we speak, but I'll have Binaifa talk to you more about that on details for that. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Anybody else has any questions? Oops, I forgot.
Yeah, any offline program in Mumbai? I missed the last week you had one, but I had signed up for something else. I couldn't come.
Yes, we
There was
had
one. Yeah.
there was healing the mother wound, and now we have healing the father wound, which
Okay.
is on, let me pull out the date. It's by Class Berend. It's
Oh,
looking at the
yeah.
father.
I have been in one of the online sessions. Yeah.
Class is doing it on the 13th of April. It's a Sunday.
Acha, 13th April. Okay.
We're speaking, we're doing it specifically, you know, on, working with issues of the father, with issues specifically around professional success, around health.
Okay.
It's a very deep workshop.
Okay. I will sign up for that, hopefully.
Yes, I've just shared it on the chat, Lakshmi, for you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Have a
so much,
good
everyone. Brinda,
Yes.
great seeing you again. Tanu, Urmila,
Yes.
Kishori, Yogesh, Manonmi. Yes, I'm saying that right now. Thank you, Shraddha, Vimla. Thank you, everyone. It was great seeing you guys. Thank you so much for coming in, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you, guys. See you. Cheers. Good night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Good night. Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye, everyone. Good night.
I finished this.